There is something incredibly grounding about gathering together for a purpose that is bigger than just ourselves. We arrived at Newlands Forest early, before the heat of the day really set in, and the first thing that struck me was the color, purple. Everywhere you looked, there were splashes of purple against the greens and browns of the forest floor. It wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a statement. We were there to raise awareness for gender-based violence, and seeing that sea of purple, seeing the turnout, was honestly a bit emotional. It's one thing to post about a cause online, but it is another thing entirely to wake up early on a weekend, put on your boots, and physically show up. And people really did show up. It was a fantastic turnout of hikers. Some new faces, some regulars, but everyone united by the same intention. Before we even took our first step on the trail, we circled up. We needed to set the tone. We had a little intro talk, not just to welcome everyone, but to speak plainly about why we were there. We spoke about GBV, about the reality of it, but we also spoke about empowerment and safety. We went through some essential safety tips, things that we should all know but often forget. It felt important to ground the hike in that reality before we let the forest take over. And once we started moving, the forest really did take over. There is a specific kind of magic in Newlands Forest that you don't quite find anywhere else in Cape Town. As soon as you cross that threshold from the parking area into the tree line, the air changes. It feels cooler, crisper. The noise of the suburbs and the city just falls away, replaced by the sound of boots on the path and the wind in the canopy. We couldn't have asked for a better location for a day like this. Newlands isn't trying to break you, it's there to welcome you. The trail we took is fairly easy, which was perfect because it allowed us to focus on the conversation and the community rather than just gasping for breath. It's accessible. You don't need to be a professional mountaineer to enjoy this. The path is so easily marked, it guides you gently through the landscape without you having to second guess where you're going every few minutes. It lets you just be present, and being present here is easy when the surroundings look like this. I mean, look at these trees. The way the light filters through the pine needles and the leaves creates this dappled, shifting pattern on the ground that is just mesmerizing. You have these massive, towering trunks that seem to stretch right up into the sky, creating a natural cathedral. It feels ancient and protective. Walking under that canopy, you feel small in the best possible way. It puts everything into perspective. There's a softness to Newlands. Unlike the rocky, harsh exposure of some of the higher peaks, this forest feels like a sanctuary. It's lush, it's green. There are ferns unfurling along the banks and moss growing on the rocks near the streams. It smells of damp earth and pine resin, that distinct scent that immediately lowers your heart rate. As we walked, the group naturally stretched out, a long line of purple winding through the greenery. It was beautiful to watch. Even though we were there for a serious cause, the beauty of the forest brought a sense of peace to the day. It's hard to hold on to tension when you are surrounded by this much life. The ease of the trail meant people could chat, connect, and check in on one another. It wasn't a race to the finish line. It was a collective movement through a beautiful space. I found myself just looking up a lot of the time, just staring at the branches interlocking overhead. It's amazing how a place so close to the city can feel so far removed from it. The boardwalks, the gravel path, the little bridges over the streams. It's all so well maintained, making the hike a pleasure rather than a chore. By the time we looped back, I think we all felt a little lighter. We had done something good. We had stood up for something important, and we had done it in one of the most beautiful places on earth. Good people, a good cause, and the timeless beauty of Newlands Forest. You really can't ask for much more than that.